Let's jump right in with our baseball dudes, DraftKings contributors Steve Buchanan and Nick Friar, here for everyone's favorite segment, Put Up Your Buchs. So Steve is going to lay down his favorite plays on tonight's MLB slate. Nick, you're going to tell us if you think he's crazy or if you like what he's saying. And for the record, Steve, I'm sorry, don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. Nick leads the series thus far 7-3. So Steve, take it away.
Yeah, so I actually, if you guys can entertain me for 1 second, I'm going to read a passage from the good book. It's on page 18,317. It says, unsustainable, which is an adjective, which means not capable of prolonged or continued, not sustainable. Some synonyms of this word include unsupportable, unprovable, unverifiable, and one of my favorites, debatable.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that it is verifiable, because if you look at the stats, I know that they moved the graphic away quickly because they don't want to embarrass you. You are down by 4, sir. And it means I've been outscoring you with all my plays recently. And last time out, I mean, what was it, Schwarber, right? You went Schwarber, Brantley. That was the one that felt the best of them all.
Yeah. Like I said,
when you said the good book, Steve, I really thought you were about to quote the Bible, but
yeah,
that was the dictionary.
Yeah, see, this is, I throw you guys for a loop. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, Steve, give us your pitcher and we're going to start keeping track more and see if it's sustainable or not. So take it away.
By the way, your eyebrows look great today. Let's talk about.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. Let's talk about Patrick Corbin, okay? Nobody wants to play Patrick Corbin. You see Patrick Corbin, you want to run as far away as possible, but I actually like his matchup tonight going against the Dodgers, an offense that has been struggling immensely as of late. Here's some quick math for you, Nick Friar. They're averaging just 3.8 runs over their last 10 games. That is not like the Dodgers offense everybody was expecting all throughout the offseason. Then you look at their numbers against lefties. Not good. Not good at all. 301 WOBA, that ranks 23rd. 165 isolated power, that ranks 15th. A 93 WRC plus, that ranks 21st. And they also strike out a lot against lefties with a 24.6% K rate. This is not something that you're going to feel great about putting Patrick Corbin into your lineup, but the way he's been pitching lately and how bad this offense has been against lefties, I kind of like this matchup.
Nick, you look like you don't think Steve is crazy.
I don't think he's crazy, but I'm not going to go with Corbin. But I will give Steve this. The Dodgers had the worst OPS against left-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. So I will give him that, but I still cannot back Patrick Corbin. You say that he's done well lately. That's against the Pirates, the struggling Mets right now, and the Marlins. None of them have OPS against left-handed pitching over 703 over the past 2 weeks. I'd rather go with Johnny Cueto up against the Diamondbacks, and he's at 7.3K, so he's a little bit cheaper. The Diamondbacks are the worst. So while the Dodgers are the worst against lefties right now, the Diamondbacks are the worst against righties. They have a .09 ISO against righties over the last couple of weeks. And then their OPS is the lowest as well against righties over the last 2 weeks. And then he's coming off a good start against the A's too, which, if we're talking about recent starts, I would say the A's have a better offense than the Pirates, Mets, and Marlins. So I feel comfortable citing them as evidence more so. So I'm going to go with Cueto instead of Corbin tonight as my pitcher.
All right, let's talk about your pick for infielder, Steve, a guy who's gone deep 4 times in his past 10 games. Why are you going with Nolan Arenado?
Look at that, just taking some of the stats right off my sheet here. But Nolan Arenado is making his glorious return to Coors Field tonight. They should have statues in front of that stadium, not because he, helped them win a World Series, because he was probably the last notable guy that they have in that offense at this point here. But Nolan Arenado has done one thing all season long. He has crushed right-handed pitching on the road. Now he goes to the best road park that you could possibly hit in Coors Field tonight. Against righties on the road, 339 WOBA, 235 isolated power, and 6 of his 16 home runs on the season. He's going up against Antonio Senzatella, who, for whatever reason, like most Coors Field pitchers, they've pitched better at home than they have on the road this season. That is also, here's that word again, unsustainable. So I am banking on the Cardinals and specifically Nolan Arenado to maybe change the way that things have been going as of late. I think Arenado does well in his return to Coors Field tonight.
I mean, Nick, can you make an argument against it?
You know what? I thought I could, Jesse, but this is unprecedented, I would say. Steve actually won me over with his explanation of Nolan Arenado. I'm actually going to give him this one. I will say that we're on the – well, you know what? I mean, I am doing better right now, so I feel like I'm in position to give you one once in a while. So I was thinking about Justin Turner because he's done well against Corbin throughout his career, but I think Arenado back at Coors Field tonight, you can't say no to that one. So good job, Steve. You won me over there.
Oh, thanks.
Well, Steve. Let's see if you can do it again. Outfielder, Pete Gomez.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just looking at my check. Yeah, cleared from last week, so I don't know what the big problem is here. Nick Castellanos going up against a lefty tonight. Wait, you didn't get that reference, Nick? I still get paid no matter what the record is, so just relax. Nick Castellanos going up against a lefty tonight. The lefties is always where you want to be targeting him. Ryan Weathers taking them out tonight for the Padres. All he does is pitch to contact, only a 6.4 K9 on the season. So he's just simply not striking batters out. But there's a big discrepancy in his ERA and his FIP. His ERA in the majors is 2.47. His FIP is 4.26. So basically what that indicates is he's been getting a little bit lucky when he's on the mound here. Now he has to face literally one of the best hitters in the league against lefties in Castellanos. All he's done is post a 401 WOBA, 250 isolated power, 153 WRC plus. Let's just keep putting him on a pedestal, blah, 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 blah. But seriously, that's all he's done is hit lefties well this season. He's having an incredible season overall, but I like this matchup again and going up a pitcher who needs to induce contact to get outs. And if Castellanos is making contact, usually good things are happening when he's facing a lefty.
All right, it was his third game with 3 or more RBI in his last 7 starts last time out. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, Castellanos was on my short list because I know over the last 10 games he's done well. And generally speaking, he does well against left-handed pitching. But over the last couple of weeks, his OPS is at 572 against left-handed pitching, and his ISO is below 0.060 right now against lefties over the last 2 weeks. So as much as Weathers might be a decent matchup, I just don't feel comfortable going with Castellanos. As much as that price is tantalizing, I'd rather go and save a little bit and go with a guy who he's still a value bet, but I'm going to put him here as well. Kyle Tucker at 3.7K against Cleveland. Against JC Mejia, who got torched by the Pirates 2 games ago. I don't care what you did against the Twins. You're getting torched by the Pirates, you're doing something wrong. And then obviously Tucker has done well. He's been one of the better value bats throughout the season. I don't know how he's still perpetually under 4K. He's got an 896 OPS against righties throughout the entire season over the last 10 games. He's got, an 876 OPS, so it's not like he's doing as well overall as Castellanos has done, but I like him at this price. And then Castellanos against lefties, I just don't think he's going to necessarily perform like we might expect him to.
All right, Steve, take us home with your value play. Who's it going to be and why?
Well, I hope it doesn't pain you as much as it was to say that sentence. You were very upset about that.
I'm just trying to be dramatic, Steve.
Oh, well, you're doing very well then. You're doing a great job. Josh Rojas at 3,600 against the guy that Nick wants to use tonight in Johnny Cueto. Johnny Cueto can't get lefties out. You look at his numbers across the board, he's really struggling against lefties. And look, if there's anybody that doesn't like backing the Diamondbacks in any spec or spectrum, it's me. But I'll take Rojas at 3,600 because he is that lefty. When Cueto is facing these lefties, 353 WOBA, 4.30 FIP, and 4 of the 8 home runs that he's allowed. Rojas has been one of the lone bright spots on the Diamondbacks, which is not a high bar to clear. But he had a 190 isolated power against all pitchers in the month of June. Doesn't have a ton of power overall. But at 3,600 in the plus matchup that he has against Johnny Cueto, I think he's somebody you can use to kind of save some salary.
How do we feel about this one, Nick?
I mean, it's fine. I'm a little thrown off right now because it seems like Steve keeps complimenting you like he's trying to compensate for something. Are you the one that writes his checks? Because I'm just curious. He says to keep clearing. Is that why he keeps complimenting you, Jesse?
I can neither confirm nor deny. No, I'm just kidding. I wish I was signing checks. I would sign myself some really big ones. But
anyways,
no.
I'm going to go with Will Myers tonight against Luis Castillo. I know he's done well of late, but this is a series that's featured quite a bit of offense. Will Myers has 7 of his 9 home runs against right-handed pitching this season. 16 of his 19 extra base hits are against right-handed pitching this season. And he's done solid of late. I know he had a home run the other night. And Castillo, I understand this is a guy who is going to completely right the ship at some point. Steve, I believe you're high on him as well in general, but I don't trust him going into this game up against the Padres, who have one of the best offenses in the entire league.